After months of no answers, a missing scientist has been found dead in New Mexico, once again under mysterious circumstances. Todd Pyro joins us with more. Todd.
Hey, Brian, after this discovery, we still might have more questions than answers. 53-year-old Melissa Casias had been missing since June 26th of last year. She was working as an administrative assistant at Los Alamos National Lab, where the world's first atomic weapons were developed during World War II. Investigators announcing her remains were found by a hiker in a national forest about 10 miles from her northern New Mexico home, and a handgun was also found alongside her body. When Casias vanished nearly a year ago, her family discovered that her personal belongings, including her purse, IDs, and cell phones, had been left behind, and both phones had reportedly been factory reset.
Oops. That's a bit of a problem when you're factory resetting phones. How does that work out?
It works out with Chinese intelligence. That's how it works out. I mean, this to me has the fingerprints of intelligence. I don't know if it's Chinese, but it has the fingerprints of intelligence all over it.
Interesting, though. I mean, why would you bother erasing the phone and then leaving it there? Why not just make it disappear altogether?
Why not take the gun with you if you want to go that far? You know, I mean, why leave the gun?
Yeah, maybe that's the idea, is to have it more confusing. That story, we heard about it, but, I do want to talk about Locals for a brief minute, because multiple people shared that with us on Locals. We have RS Brim on Locals.
Right on. Locals on top of the story.
Shared it with us. Dark Dove shared it with us.
Dark Dove. Right on, Dark Dove.
People on Locals are not only, sharing with each other stuff, but, we pick up stories there from Locals, and it's a great place to hang out. Again, you could join there for free and be seeing some of the stories ahead of time, too.
Yeah, I read it for stories too. They're definitely on top of it over there.
100%.
How do you get there from here? What route do you take?
You go down below in the description, or if you're listening, and you get on time right now, you just go to unstructured.locals.com.
Okay, all right. Even I could do that.
It's very, very easy.
It's boomer proof, you're saying. It's boomer.
Yeah, and even on Rumble, Neurodivergent one, put up a link to it, to the specific episode too.
Thank you.
So,
I look. I mean, this story seems to not go away. Finding her body with a handgun and the reset phones, and being a nuclear scientist, they may have picked her brain and interrogated her and tortured her. And then just shot her, in the desert, or it could be her gun. Maybe she went out there with her own weapon and met her demise, Eric.
Maybe she did, and maybe that's why the gun was left, was to give the impression, because other scientists who either disappeared or turned up dead, they were claiming that some of those were also self-inflicted too.
Okay, well, even that, the odds of that are 1,000,000,000 to 1.
Well, they start to definitly get higher and higher and higher.
I mean, those are pretty high odds that happened to all these nuclear scientists. But okay.
And Aqua Girl in the chat, points us out, but saying she was an admin assistant, wasn't she? Not a scientist. I will tell you something. If you are in an environment, admin assistants sometimes know damn near everything that is going on. That's why FBI, people like that will flip them, because people talk in front of them. They see a lot of things. So while they may not be a trained scientist, that doesn't mean that they don't have access or exposure to potentially dangerous knowledge at all.
Oh, yeah. I mean, she could have been spying for them. I mean, she could have been on the other side as a double agent for all we know.
Yeah, and as Dustin said, just like the custodian. Well, again, how much stuff do you throw away? How much can you find out about somebody in the trash? We have the Ellisons that are in the news a lot because of the CBS News. Larry Ellison of Oracle, the patriarch, very famously hired PIs to raid Microsoft's Redmond headquarters for what? Their trash. He actually hired PIs to go through all of their trash. Trash is a treasure trove.
Of course. I mean, if you were going to have a spy, it doesn't have to be like James Bond. You know, there are spies at lower levels whose job is to do what Eric is describing.
And they have the easiest time. You know, but a lot of people don't even think about them.
Well, look at what's her name, Dianne Feinstein. Her spy, the Chinese spy, was her driver. And you could say, well, he wasn't a scientist, Mark. He was just her driver. And it turns out that Feinstein left top secret information in the car. She left classified top secret documents in the car. She left her briefcase in the car. He overheard her on the phone in the car. But you keeps telling me he was just a driver. Okay. All right. I think that's how intelligence works.
Yeah, and the funny part is a lot of times the people who are admin assistants or custodians, it's like a custodian is cleaning and going through all the scientist offices.
Well, not only that, there was somebody
scientist. So a lot of things cross their eyes. You know,
there was a Fang who was the assistant to Eric Swalwell.
There you go, and assisted him a lot.
Right, but still under the rubric of assistance.
Deep assistance.
Yeah.
But anyway, obviously, we will keep going with the story. And
she was the first one. Yeah, she was number one. So now we just have 9 more to find the answers to. Not that we have the answers to this. We just found the body, for Christ's sakes.
Oh yeah, just a lot more.
Well, they're going to do an autopsy. This is breaking news yesterday. So there's going to be an autopsy toxicology report and maybe some more information about the gun.
Yeah, and if she was found in New Mexico, depending on where she is with a dried climate, I don't know if the remains would be mummified or what the decomposition situation would be, because that would be relevant too. If she's only, I mean, not only, but if it's skeletal remains, that becomes a bit more difficult to find out full information, other than obviously like skull wounds or something, but. And
yeah, I mean, if she's got a bullet hole in the back of her skull, I mean, that's doesn't matter how decayed her corpse is. That's easy to resolve.
Exactly. So either way, happy to not happy to see, but I mean, it's good that at least the family can be reunited with her remains. So that's the best way I can put it, because it's never a happy scenario. And while we're talking about, sadly, death and destruction, we do have an upcoming trial, a preliminary hearing. I think a lot of people are going to be sweating it because the judge is resisting the defense. Now, what I'm talking about, of course, is the Tyler Robinson case. Tyler Robinson is the accused assassin of Charlie Kirk. And the judge has said essentially that this hearing will be public, and it's significant that the preliminary hearing is public. They can lay out, and won't be 100% of the evidence. That drives me crazy when people.
Right, it's just preliminary. It's just enough to get you in the game.
Right. Is there enough proof or enough here to say go to trial? That's
of course there. Of course there is. It's ridiculous. This will take 5 minutes.
Oh, and I think there's some very real evidence that potentially is going to come out,
and evidence that's not going to come out till the trial that they're sitting back on. That they'll turn over in discovery, obviously, but they're not going to air it now.
Yep, and I expect to hear, of course, from the Candace Owens of the world, bitch. They've already been doing this, saying, "Why didn't they tell me?" And it's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, Your Highness, they didn't report to you."
I think most people are zoning her out at this point in our audience, including me.
Well, she's busy. She's busy in Russia.
All right, whatever, bro. Whatever this nutty bitch is up to.
she has other.
She's got her own little universe that she operates in.
Okay, so while we're talking about mysteries, I want you to explain to me this one. And okay, everybody who's getting on the whole. Mark and Eric say Trump could never do anything wrong, ever, ever, ever. He's the best ever. He's the smartest ever. It's always 4D chess. Well, I do have a question. Who the hell is Bill Colte, who has zero, from what I can see, intelligence experience whatsoever? Does that
You
make
got
sense
me.
to
I
you?
think it's a placeholder, to be honest with you. I think it's just I also think he's run out of people that he can trust. So he's putting similar. This is a miniature version of the Marco Rubio theory. You have 5 people for 35 jobs that he can trust.
Mhm.
And he's stretching out the 5 people. I think it's more than 5, but essentially, I'm just using that as an example. He's stretching out the 5 people to cover 35 jobs, not because of their expertise in that area, but because they are loyal to him. That's my explanation.
It could be, and apparently this guy is very close. I guess he travels with Trump back and forth to Mar-a-Lago
Yeah.
frequently. But I was gonna say it is kind of confusing to me. But yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe he is.
I mean,
the
that's
placeholder.
that's my take on it. People are making some hay about it, but I just want to give a shout out to Tulsi Gabbard and her husband, who is going into surgery as we make this show. Our prayers go out to Tulsi Gabbard's husband and to herself that he comes out of surgery successfully. Thanks.
Right. And by the way, when did we say that we were smarter than Trump?
Oh, I can't.
No, I know, but I always love, the geniuses in the chat who are obviously smarter than everybody here.
Yeah, I don't know what to make. We've criticized Trump. We've embraced Trump. I mean, it is what it is. We just take one pitch at a time from the mound, and it's one batter at a time.
All right. Now, one more thing on this, when you're saying about the trusting a placeholder.
Yeah.
I have read and heard that a cabinet, somebody who's already been cleared by the Senate for the cabinet, can be shifted to another position.
That's true. That is true.
And maybe that's what's going on here.
I would go with that one too, Eric. Yeah, good point.
And then he could be longer. Like
I don't know what's going to happen with Blanche. She's up there on the Hill right now as we speak, or was on the Hill this morning, and he's not confirmed. I mean, he's an assistant acting attorney general, to be technical.
Okay.
But I mean, he's serving as attorney general, but he has to be confirmed.
Exactly. And I don't know if he is going to be or not. Apparently he just said that fund is officially dead.
Very strange.
So
it goes back to Trump.
Justin brings up what might be a good idea here, that this guy could be overseeing the rebuilding of Gaza. He is a builder.
Could very well be. I mean, he's a member of Mar-a-Lago, and he's in that Trump inner Palm Beach circle down there, and it could very well be. I don't know if you have to be the NDI director to do that, but
no, but
it could very well be. I don't know. Well, more will be revealed. This is just breaking today for us.
All right. Well,
I mean, it's a relatively recent story, so we don't have all the information, but
no, it broke today. And but good news, I guess, for those who are upset that they did not get to see a correspondence dinner. It has officially been rescheduled for July 24th
of this year.
Yes. Friday, July 24th.
Why don't they let this go? What is so important about this?
He had a speech, Mark.
Again, they're going to heckle him and walk out and humiliate him. What schmucky part of his administration is obsessed with doing this?
I don't know.
It's absurd. They can't defend this anywhere they go. Are they going to go back to the freaking Hilton again, Eric?
I think they're going to do it in a tent outside the White House.
Okay. All right.
Rose Garden or whatever.
They're going to trust every single one of these journalists. Your arch enemies, the foot soldiers of the left, coming into your backyard, and you're expecting them to behave normally. It's absurd. It's absurd. They have so many fish to fry in this fucking administration that they should take a night or 2 or 3 or a week to plan. This is a fucking waste of psychological and intellectual time, not to mention political time, Eric, which is much more valuable.
I agree. But, he sits down with the New York Times all the time.
But that takes 5 minutes on the phone. This event takes planning. It's already gone off the rails the last time. These are his mortal enemies. They're going to pull stunts. They're going to walk out. They're going to stand up and heckle him. And what is he going to get at the end of the day? That they're not going to dislike him after this is over because he gave them free liquor and a chicken?
They can have hope. He has hope.
Waste of political time. Susie Wiles must go. Every time this happens, I will continue the drumbeat. This is not Trump planning the event. This is a woman who wants to put on a bar mitzvah in the White House or a wedding or a confirmation. This is what she's doing here, like it's a social fucking event.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Well, interesting to go on the other side of the aisle, so to speak.
Yeah, what's over there?
We've got this guy Plattner. Now, we haven't talked about Plattner at all.
No,
He's been floating around in the news like a turd in the toilet, but he is definitely he's in the news. Okay, this is yesterday's news. I'm going to start out with yesterday's news because it keeps on
a long time ago. Yeah.
So he apparently was on this app called Kik, K-I-K, and the Kik app, I guess, is where some people have affairs and things. I've actually heard that the Kik app is where other things happen that are much darker than that still. So I'm not going to say he did that. I'm just going to say, okay, he does. He likes to have a variety.
It's a teen hookup site. Let me just be blunt about the actual structure of Kik. It's for underage, not underage, but 16 to basically 25-year-olds to hook up.
Which is not really, this guy is not 16 and he's not 25.
No, in fact, his profile is a photo of him in a towel. He has a profile. This is an underage. When I say underage, they can hook up socially, they can hook up sexually, they can hook up any way you want. But the age group is roughly 16 to 25.
Yeah. And I don't know if you listened to
what is she grabbing him about there? What is that photo? She's looking at him like, don't go in there, honey.
Don't post that message, please.
Don't post that message.
Don't post.
I mean, her video was like a hostage video. This is his wife, where they said, we resolved many issues of our past. They've barely been married for 36 months. I don't know what issues in their past they're resolving from their marriage.
Yeah, and just to get a point.
Yeah, he doesn't even know the girl longer than 2.5, 3 years.
Well, who knows? I mean, he's been on there since 10 years. For 10 years, how old does she look? No, anyway, I'm just saying.
Listen, the reason he's on there for 10 years is because it works.
You think? Anyway, he is from Maine, and between 2023 and 2025, at least 4 Maine men were sentenced for distributing child material or soliciting nude pictures from underage girls by posing as minors while
on Kik. You're talking about
on Kik, yeah.
Oh yeah.
So here's her video. Let's see.
That's the least of his problems.
Hey everyone, it's Amy.
Hey Amy.
I wanted to make a statement today, and
I'm sorry.
I wanted to make a statement today in response to a couple of news articles that are out there about my marriage to Graham. If anybody knows me and Graham personally, you know that we got married in 2023. We live in Sullivan. We've got 2 dogs.
Yeah, that's great.
And we love each other deeply.
Sure you do.
So it makes me really angry, disappointed.
You look angry.
And I find it really shameful that there's a group of media outlets
who are all Democrats, by the way. It's not like
that's right. No,
Republicans.
Eric's right. Eric's right.
That are doing this.
Yeah, the Republicans are laying back.
And
this is all
people who
Dems.
are willing to spread gossip.
Yeah.
Instead of talking about real issues that
you'd prefer that, wouldn't you? At this point, wouldn't you?
Is running on like.
You should have thought of that.
Like being on a platform with underage girls is not a real.
That's not an issue. That's not a real issue. You should talk about the real issues, which is cannabis taxation or something in Maine.
Or something.
Or his cocaine stuff. I mean,
no, that's the next story. Remember,
that's the next story. I don't
news, Mark.
I can't keep this. I can't. First of all, that looks like a hostage video. People are right. I don't know what she does. Looks like the Manchurian Candidate that she's reading from a teleprompter as she's on a treadmill. It's emotionless. She's probably on.
I'm angry.
She's on
I'm
Valium.
very
That's why
angry.
she's Xanaxed out or Vald out. She looks like she's speaking in a monotone voice. There's no emotion. Let me just get to the heart of this fat bitch's problem. She's with a guy who's a serial underage predator. She doesn't know how to get out of this mess. He's now beat the living crap out of her, allegedly, and forced her to make a hostage video. This marriage will end as soon as the election is over.
Yes.
Just a prediction.
Probably.
Yeah,
But
just a prediction.
But wait, there's
we're not done. But we're not done.
Because even his denial, by the way, when he was out talking about it, it was the softest denial possible. Because first off, he was like, "I'm very disappointed that people are talking about my wife." He didn't say no, and then finally in the end, he kind of half-assed it. No, what she reported is not accurate, or something.
Oh, 3 months ago, the Democrats asked him privately, "Is there anything else that we should know about?" And he said, "Absolutely not." And, it's more Oppo research dumping every day now. So what does he go back to them again and say, "I need your support in the Senate"?
Well, he is in Washington right now.
Right? No, that's what I'm saying.
Mr. Plattner goes to Washington.
Yes, he's going office to office of Democratic senators, looking for their support, and they're going to say to him, "You told us 3 months ago there was nothing else in the hopper. Now what are we supposed to think, Eric?"
Exactly, but wait, there is more. Here's the headline: Washington Free Beacon. Good job on these guys. It should be picked up in wider spread. I agree with Halpern on that.
Yeah.
No regrets. Graham Plattner admitted to buying cocaine, boasted about doing drugs during military leave while on the government dime. I like how he put on the government dime.
Yeah. Bragging about it.
Yeah.
Look at him. He's on coke right in that photo.
He looks like it. Anyway, the Marine Corps has a zero tolerance policy for illegal drug use, and Marines in violation can face prosecution in military court, which apparently Hegseth is exploring. I mean, he did go after Mark Kelly. Why not go after well, he's a cokehead. I mean, he just said he did cocaine. So I'm going to say a self-confessed cokehead. Would that be a fair term?
Yeah, and if you look at the commander's substance abuse policy, which is pretty cut and dry, Eric, this is a Marine no-no on every single level known to mankind.
Dude, I was in the Army. It's an Army no-no. I
didn't know that.
To go, do whiz quiz. That was one of my lessons in the Army where I learned life can suck when you think it's better. So I used to hate having to get a phone call at 4 o'clock in the morning saying, "Get in here, you're going to be doing a drug test." And I was like, "Oh man, it screwed up my sleep. It sucked. I had to go in, had to stand there and pee in a cup, all that good stuff." But then I became a sergeant, and well, it got worse because instead of peeing in the cup, I became one of the guys who had to watch others pee in the cup.
I've done that.
So
I've had to go up against the Whizzinator. I don't know if you had to go up against the Whizzinator, my friend.
I've heard of that. Is that the phallus or the?
Yeah, no, the plastic penis. I mean, Tom Sizemore famously ended up with the last one in the store, which happened to be black, and was caught by his drug counselor saying, "You don't have a black penis, Tom, do you?" And he failed his drug test, Sizemore. But yeah, many times I've had to go up against the Whizzinator, and the Whizzinator can be deceptive. Because you have to look, just for people layman at home, as a drug counselor, you don't give them the cup to go into the room with. You have to go in with him, look over the shoulder of the urine going into the cup to avoid the Whizzinator, which is the whole point of what I've just described.
Exactly. So the moral of the story is, while it sucks being drug tested, it's better to be the testee.
Yes.
The tester or watcher. Yeah. So, and as far as Sizemore, I can only imagine his answer. Well, I've been in some really bad places.
No, he confessed to the story that I just told you, that he went to a sex shop and that was the last one they had for sale. He was caught black-handed, and he said this is what happened.
Oh my God!
Rest in peace, Tommy.
Oh, well, Plattner, I don't know what he is going to be doing, but anyway, that his primary
Yeah, this
is
is a story that's going to keep on coming, though, right?
it is, but honestly, I want him to slow it down
Yeah.
because he's clinging on and so arrogant, he's not dropping out whatsoever, at this point. I want this guy to win the primary. I don't want, somebody like Janet Mills, the governor, who's a little bit more milquetoast, to win. I want him to go through. So then the entire season, every Democrat all around the nation. So what do you have to say about Plattner? That's one of your people, right? You like his tattoo? Do you have a tattoo as well?
Mills famously said hasn't closed up shop, that she's still on the ballot.
Right. She literally is the reason for the suspending of campaigns versus quitting a campaign because of this. And Mills is also the one who mouthed off to Trump. I don't know if people remember that.
Oh, I now remember. Right. That's right. But why didn't she run? I don't understand. Why they were afraid to lose the governorship of?
Well, she was losing really badly, so she suspended her campaign.
Oh, okay.
But, and that's my point. I don't want him to drop out this week and her to come in. I want him to win the primary because I mean that's perfect. I mean it's him or Susan Collins, and Susan Collins is like the opposite of MAGA.
If you trust the polls, he's got like a 10-point lead over Collins right now.
He does, but you know what?
So
did somebody before.
Yeah.
And also keep in mind that last time Susan Collins ran, Biden won the state by, I think, by double digits, and she won by 10 points. So she had a 20-point spread over a Democrat who had no controversy whatsoever. So, yeah, she may suck in the polls right now, but it's early. It's kind of like in Texas. How many of you remember Beto O'Rourke was going to just walk into the office because he was doing so well?
Beto O'Rourke seems better than the current guy, Tallarico. I mean, Beto O'Rourke seems normal compared to this crazy person.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Paxton's getting endorsements from all the rhinos. I was surprised how quickly the rhinos have endorsed him, including Cornyn, to be honest, including Cornyn.
Well, good. Good. I'm happy to see that.
Yeah, I was surprised how quickly Cornyn did.
Maybe there's an ambassadorship for Mr. Cornyn.
Yeah, give him something. Tell him what he's won, Bob.
Exactly.
You got to get some. I wish somebody would get on the blower to this Chad Bianco, but apparently not. Nobody
Trump
called
tried
him on the
to
phone.
Yesterday, apparently, when he.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Trump endorsed
Hilton,
not Pratt, Hilton again on True Social, which to me is kind of a smoke signal to Bianco. Get your ass out of the race.
Well, no, you got to give him an ambassadorship to get him out of the race, and that didn't happen. And then he didn't threaten Bianco. He didn't do either one. So Bianco is willing to either be accepting money from the Democrats or a thin-skinned narcissistic psycho. I presume it's the latter of the two. And he will destroy Chad Hilton's chances if he continues with his 12% today, by allowing two Democrats to finish first and second.
Which I'm sure he'd be happy with. I mean, the guy who
I don't understand
for George Floyd is
I don't understand this guy. I mean, I don't what he's going to go back to being a sheriff and came in 4th or 5th place, and I took out the leading Republican. Tip of the hat to me. I don't get it. Other than being a Curtis Sliwa phony candidate, to be a stalking horse or a calf that allow them to get in, to take the 12%. He might even be on a sliding scale financially. The more you are campaigning and the more points you rack up in the polls, the more money we're going to give you. I mean, it could be that cut and dry, Eric.
Yeah, and they also could have said, "Hey, just stick in there, and then we're going to fund your sheriff campaign and make sure that you're."
Right, no, I'm saying that's what I'm saying, right? And also, it may be so Machiavellian that the higher he goes in the polls, the more money he gets from them.
Yeah, I believe it. Charlie FLA has a good position for him. He could be ambassador to Iran.
Ambassador to Iran is a good one. It's interesting. They're trying to explain this on Twitter. It's very difficult to explain things in shorthand, but they sent out 23 million ballots. About 3.5 million have been returned. So far as of Friday, they had about 3.5, which means that only 20 million ballots are physically floating around the universe out here. Just keep in mind, just 20 million ballots are on the street outside of mailboxes and apartment buildings, in front of supermarkets, at nursing homes, at hospitals, at post offices. Just 20 million. The fact that somebody could not scoop up, I don't know, 100,000 out of the 20 million, put them in a safe house. You know who they're addressed to. They're not going to vote. They obviously left it outside in the hallway. You could just simply mail in those ballots for anyone who's the addressee on the ballot, and let them sort it out years from now if they ever even do pursue it.
I agree.
It's one of the major vulnerabilities. They were talking about, Tom Fitton was talking about 837,000 people that are still on the rolls here. That's the rolls. Forget about the rolls. Who gives a shit about the rolls? When you mail out 23 million ballots in a primary, because everybody the same amount as the general election, you mailed out, they have 23 million voters in the state, just so people can follow along at home. About 3.5 million as of Friday were returned. Now, this is a primary election, so it's reduced. It's mayoral and gubernatorial. The real election is in November. So you now have literally 20 million ballots for anyone who can get their hands on them to do nefarious things. I think it's crazy.
Yeah, and if you do have the rolls, though, you can just fill it out as that. Oh, hey,
right. Yeah. I mean, if you have both, you can actually cross-section it, but you don't even need to do that. I mean, in other words, you could go to a place and say, I want to purchase 150,000 unopened absentee ballots. And they go, okay, that's that's $1 million. And they go, okay, here's a check. Let's go, And now you're sitting on 150,000 pristine mail-in ballots. And you can use them as you see the trends going in the wrong direction.
Yeah. No, I totally. It's like a giant box 13 laying around. But all right. Well, you know what? Before we jump into the next section and talking about ballots and everything else like that, in order to do this kind of research and whatnot, it's always helpful to abuse our own substance. And our substance at hand is coffee. And our coffee that we have it specially made for us. It's organic coffee. Custom blend. It's not a white label. There's a lot of people out there selling coffee saying, oh, look at our coffee or whatever. And it's the same coffee, some Starbucks type blend. They throw a sticker on it. This is custom made coffee by a veteran out of Texas. Moon Doe's is who makes it. Moon Doe's, who's the opposite of a Starbuck. And we have two flavors available. Supreme Breakfast Blend, and that is the original, with the Sumatra Mandolin and a Mexico Chiapas. And the Chiapas is a kind of a brighter, fresher bean, and the Mandolin is a darker, richer roast mixed together. Nice breakfast blend. And the other one is the Magic Bullet Blend, which is also fantastic. That one is kind of a deeper, richer, fuller blend. Both of these are fantastic, though. And I always like to say, I don't have to have cream with my coffee when I drink these versus other coffees. I have to have cream or something to knock down the burnt edge. This coffee is not burnt. It is roasted to perfection, and it tastes excellent. You can always point your phone at the screen, hit that QR code and grab it. Or if you are listening, again, americasuntoldstories.com/coffee will take you right to this page. You can choose, got the buttons there, get you some, or you can go down to our descriptions below, wherever you are watching this. And we will shift now to our next topic, which is have 6 states tomorrow with primaries.
Oh,
Let's start off with
here's somebody. Who's this, Gail King?
Across the country, including in California, where some very close races are playing out. The governor's race, though, is wide open. In Los Angeles, Mayor Karen Bass is facing challenges from both the left and the right, including reality star Spencer Pratt, who's been endorsed by President Trump. Our chief national correspondent, Matt Gutman, is in LA with more on the story. Matt, it went from no way, no how to Spencer Pratt to maybe. The president's record's pretty good at endorsing, too.
Good morning, Gail. I mean, this is a jungle primary we have in California, and that means that the top two candidates, regardless of party, advance to November. For the governor, it's a race to run the fourth largest economy in the world. High stakes, but so far, low voter turnout. But as you mentioned, that's not the case with the LA mayoral race, one of the most fiercely fought races in the country.
Anyway,
It's still low voter turnout, no matter what this guy says. Simply because, and I'll explain it, the cities that really supporting Pratt don't have the right to vote in the election. Beverly Hills, Venice, Santa Monica, Culver City, Burbank, Glendale, they're not part of LA City. LA City is 3.3 or 4 million people. It's the second largest city in the country, but it's millions of people less than the number one city, which is New York, at 8.5 million. There's a huge drop-off in percentage because LA County is the largest county in the country at over 10 million people. So LA County is bigger than New York County itself. Kings County is Brooklyn, and Queens County and the boroughs add up to about 8.5 million people. And here, it's about 3.5 million, making it the second largest city in the country. But these other places that are white, conservative strongholds do not have the right to vote in this election,
which does suck. So
yeah.
And I was talking to Mark about this on the phone, just to clarify, because I didn't completely realize.
Yeah, it's complicated.
Like Canoga Park is its own city.
Yep.
All these places in LA are part of the
LA
metropolis, but they're not LA itself. Whereas New York has the boroughs, but they're still voting for the mayor. So it's a
right. New York
scenario.
is a city within New York State. LA City is a city within LA County, and within the county are all these other cities that can't vote for the mayoral race, but have strong feelings about Pratt. That being said, I don't know if you saw Pratt on Bill Maher last night on Club Random.
I was listening to it earlier, and I wanted to start off with just one thing I thought was remarkable. Yeah. Bill Maher, and this has nothing to do with the election, it has to do just with Bill Maher.
Yeah.
He starts it off by holding up, I'm guessing, a blunt.
Yeah.
And saying, I'm not feeling well, so I can't really smoke this, but I have to hold it. And I'm like, are you that messed up that you need the emotional support of holding a blunt in your hand, even if you can't smoke it? What is wrong with this guy?
He's so stupid. I mean, we were watching this last night in my household. We were astonished about his lack of information and knowledge of a place that he's lived in since 1983. It is shocking how little he knows about politics. I mean, Pratt was super polite to him, never called him on it, but holy crap, his lack of information about Pratt was breathtaking. He kept calling him a douchebag, and Pratt explained to him the entire career arc that he's been on, and I'll explain it for people who may not know. The Hills was kind of a spinoff of the OC, but
that was Pratt's show. I did not know that.
Let me explain it. He pitched this idea to Fox. Fox went for the pitch. He was the executive producer of the show. He owns the show. The money from the show went to Pratt himself. He created a character as the bad guy on purpose, having nothing to do with being a bad guy. He was advised by Simon Cowell to create this bad guy character for ratings. He explains this to Bill Maher, who looks absolutely stunned because he had no idea that this was the reality of this reality star that they keep disparaging as if he was one random actual douchebag on a show. Nothing could be further from the truth. He's a businessman who made a fortune owning a TV show.
In his 20s. How often does somebody in his 20s create a TV show?
That he created. Not that he was a guy they hired who was a douchebag to be on a show. He pitched this to Fox, and I have mad respect for him for pulling that off.
Well, and Mar, it was funny because Mar was kind of like, but it's reality.
He
like,
was
like he actually bought into the.
I know. The whole episode is so shocking at exposing the level of the lack of knowledge of Bill Maher in these areas where I just presumed he knew as much as the rest of us, and he didn't know anything about anything. I mean, Pratt kept citing his house burning down, and he kept going, "Would you stop with your house burning down?" And he said, "Bill, the woman across the street burned to death, and so did her parrots." And he's going, "Stop trying to milk this." It was just so shocking. He was super polite, Pratt, but it was Bill Maher at his douchiest worst on the earth. It really was shocking to watch.
And I think part of the problem was that Pratt is so informed, and Bill Maher isn't used to that. He's always the smartest guy in the room, or thinks
not even
and
close.
It was so obvious,
not
that he
even
didn't
close.
Know. And so he starts singing, and he's interrupting.
Right. He's interrupting, and he's a PETA member. His big thing is PETA. So Pratt tells him they're injecting dogs on Skid Row with needles to see if the fentanyl level will kill them. He doesn't know anything about anything, Bill Maher. He never leaves his freaking house.
No, it's
just shocking. Absolutely. I was shocked to my core last night by his lack of information and being in this world of political comedy and political shows. He knows less than the average guy on the fucking LA streets about this election.
Yeah, and he had really zero curiosity whatsoever in
about Pratt. Yeah.
No, and he was just like
wow. And he wasn't even lighting up the blunt. This was him without pot.
I know. I mean, well, again, it's so staggering seeing that. I really did expect.
That was shocking.
I expected more out of him.
Me too.
He really, and it's like, I think that maybe I'm wrong. I think Bill knows more about national politics than he does about LA.
Absolutely.
So
he kept referring to national politics, and Pratt kept saying, no, at one point Pratt said, I don't have issues. I only have a handful of issues. And he starts laughing mockingly. He says, you have to be in on all the issues. He goes, no, I don't. He says, I have a handful of issues that concern me.
Yeah.
Wow.
And but to keep the tradition going, because we don't have that much time yet. The primary is today, so I am going to milk these ads as long as I can. I've got a great ad here.
Boy, the one today about Scrooge. Whoa.
Whoa. This one's shorter though. I can't.
Okay.
Those will be a bridge when we roll into locals. I get to play that nice line.
Far out.
But here.
Once upon a time, there was a beautiful city called Los Angeles. But then a scary monster the kids called Basura took over the town.
This is amazing.
She did all sorts of bad things.
Like what?
She let all the drug addicts take over the parks. So no kids had a place to play. Then she let them hurt the puppies. She let them do drugs in front of schools, so none of the kids were safe. While she was partying far, far away, she let the city burn to the ground. That's when everyone said enough is enough. One by one, all the mommies decided it was time to fix things. Remember, there's nothing more powerful than an angry mommy.
Did the mommy save the puppies?
All the mommies came together and kicked the monster out of town, and she never came back. And all the puppies were safe. The end. Once
Anyway,
Wow, that was a good one. That was a good one.
It was. It was a perfect time to, slide into here. Like I said, I'll do a longer one.
Yeah, some of them are better than others. That was a good one.
Oh yeah. The effect in this Superman, the Batman.
Yeah, somebody put up, the reason you couldn't have write-ins was because on Twitter, the guy put up what the woman had told me. There are, and this is hard to believe, there are a few people running for governor in the state, so they didn't have room on the ballot for write-ins. There are 63 people running for governor, 10 times more than ever recorded in the history of any state in the union. 63. Somebody on Twitter showed the page of the 63 together on the ballot. I mean, you have to scroll down forever to find Hilton on the ballot. But nevertheless, that they had to shorten the ballot because of the 63 governors.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. Wow. Well, one of the Hollywood people who has stepped up for Pratt, and it was funny because Pratt did mention that to Maher, during the interview. He's like, everybody's coming to everybody who thinks I'm a douchebag is coming to see me right now. And Bill Maher's like, who? He goes, obviously they're not going to say it out loud, but
he importantly said that billionaire developers and investors have come to him to rebuild downtown LA. And he said that they're backing me. And they went to Karen Bass, said we were going to build these skyscrapers. And she said, great, I could put all the homeless in them. And they said, no, that's not what we want. And that was the end of the development with Karen Bass.
Wow. Well, here's a Hollywood name who did come out and recorded a video of it, and that's the Entourage creator.
Oh, Doug Ellen, yeah.
He recorded a blistering ad, complaining about what's going on and putting it out there. This is I don't think this is it, but
Hey, LA Times gaslighters.
Yeah,
it's weird. One of 15 cameras that I now have at this house. 2 German Shepherds, 3 legal guns. 5 years ago, didn't lock a door here, but you know what happened? 2 animals invaded my house. And no, I'm not racist because they were wearing masks. I don't know if they were white. I don't know if they were Jewish. I don't know if they were fucking rabbis. I know they were animals because they invaded my house. I know I don't care what their excuses are, like a lot of you fucking care. I know invaders of homes should get 20 years, but I'm not paranoid. So I don't believe your bullshit about the stats and the crime because everyone in my neighborhood has got the same problem. They're fucking all putting cameras and hiring security guards because we're all getting broken into. It's not made up. It's not false. And this city has collapsed in the last 5 years. There is no fucking denying it unless you have an agenda. And I don't know what that is. But you say, oh, Spencer Pratt has no experience. So how can we possibly think about this? What experience did Karen Bass have, or Rick Caruso, who we know can build things, who we know can fix problems, when you made sure he couldn't win? So right now, you're putting people in the same position that you did with Trump, who I did not vote for, by the way. You put him in by making sure we had no fucking options, okay? And that's where we are in LA, and we want to fix this place because we don't want to be forced out. I'm one of the people who made this city look great. I did it for years. I glorified it. I meet people all the time that moved here because of the show that I fucking created, and they hate it here now. Hate.
All right. And I think his message was
okay. So Doug Allen is from Merrick, Long Island, where my parents lived and my 2 brothers went to school. Came out here in the 90s, created Entourage. Unfortunately, lives in Beverly Hills and cannot vote for Spencer Pratt. Again, as I described. So,
yeah, that is
it's a real problem. It's a real problem.
Well, let's hope that his influence exists.
Oh yeah, no, without a doubt, helps. Without a doubt.
But all right. Well, obviously California is a big one. We've been talking about it, but there are other states as well, and I haven't been following them. But I know you are an addict, so I'm going to lean on you. Iowa. I don't know what's going on.
I don't know what's going on in Iowa. I mean, why is this in play? I'm hearing this is in play. There's 2 Democrats fighting it out. And then there's 1 Republican waiting in the wings. So again, this is the 2 Zach Lon and this is a populist infected Iowa First platform. Robert Kennedy Jr. I think there's no Republican candidates considered. I think that they have a 50% role as well in Iowa. Why Iowa would be in play, according to Mark Halpern and others, I don't know. He won the state by 1 billion points. I find this hard to believe that it would be in play later. It's not going to happen now because this is the Democratic primary for them, as opposed to the general.
I guess because it's an open election for governor, you don't have an incumbent. But okay, that's what's going on there. And I think there's also questions too because of the.
I was talking about the Senate race, by the way, I was talking about the Senate race, maybe incorrectly.
Okay, well, there's also the governor's race.
Right. Yeah. I was talking about the Senate race, which they claim is in play in Iowa. I find that hard to believe.
Okay. Well, everybody's trying to. I mean, I understand the House of Representatives, but they're really trying to say, "Oh, the Senate's going to flip. The Senate's going to flip," because they've got Plattner. I'm like,
okay,
that's not going well.
Right.
And then I guess Iowa's supposedly going to flip.
I don't Murkowski up in Alaska and then the other guy who's the other senator in Alaska. I find this hard to believe.
There are actually some that are saying no, it's not going to flip in the Senate, and the Republicans are going to pick up an extra.
Yeah, that's what I think. I'm one of them.
I'll just say that it's going to hold firm, but they're going to hold a majority, and I'll just predict they may lose one seat. Or
I don't even think they're going to lose one seat.
But that's it. I think they're going to have it. New Jersey.
You talking about Newark, New Jersey?
Well, the state itself. It's electing its statewide representatives in off years. So, we got Cory Booker up for re-election in November. I'm sure he's fine. He's unopposed for Democrats. And 3 Republicans are going against him. I doubt they're going to win. He's probably too well known.
Well, Trump can go in there because that state is leaning purple. Trump can actually go in there and make some noise in New Jersey.
I would love to see him take Cory Booker out.
There's no downside like him endorsing Pratt here in L.A. They just keep saying Pratt's MAGA, but they don't have a similar situation in New Jersey because it's had a lot of red voters last time.
Dude, come on, it'd be funny as hell. It'd be like Cory Booker, but I'm Spartacus. Come on, that would be wonderful. All right, Montana. Montana's typically a red state. I don't know that that's going to.
I'm not worried about Montana. It's just a question of where you spend your resources. If the Democratic Party wants to shoot their load by backing Tallarico in Texas, knock yourself out. I don't think Texas is going to go blue in the Senate category with Tallarico, but they may spend a lot of money, the Democrats down there.
I have a question. If it's 6 or more genders, is each one of them a donation or candidate?
Well, he didn't say genders. He said 6 or more sexes. Genders would have been intellectually debatable. He has actually said 6 different sexes.
Wow.
Yeah, not to mention the binary God. I mean, it goes on and on and on. I mean, he's a pastor in training at some gay church. I mean, it's just endless material here. He makes Beto O'Rourke look like JFK.
Which, by the way, if this was Oregon, no worries.
Oh, yeah.
We're talking about Texas here.
He's in the wrong place. It's just ridiculous. I mean, they're raising issues about his opponents, Paxton's background with securities. Give me a break. Who gives a shit? Who gives a shit that he helped his friend with the securities thing?
Okay, South Dakota also, I think, typically leans red. Larry Roden became governor when Kristi Noem resigned, and
that was a blunder, huh? Kristi Noem, you think she should have stayed around for her governorship?
I don't know what's going to go on with her.
No. I mean, look,
playing house with Cory.
Yeah.
Kristi and Cory sitting in an office.
Some people's ambition undermines their careers. Let me just put it that way. This is another example of that. Just stay in your state. You would have been fine. Instead, she started making multi-million-dollar videos of her riding on a horse.
Yeah, and writing on and on about what she does with her dogs. While we're talking.
Yeah, that was helpful too. Mark, you don't understand. I once shot my dog in the head. Look, I don't want to read about it in your memoir.
Yeah, I know. You could just say we had to put it down. at the most.
Yeah.
But why even bring anyway? All right, so that's South Dakota, and then New Mexico, which has been pretty much a lefty state for a long time. I don't know the status there.
Yeah, I don't know either. I assume they will stay a lefty state.
Yeah, most likely. Yeah. Sadly, I don't see that.
I don't know why it is, but it is. It's odd, but true.
All right, now a couple of U.S. citizens who are having their own travel troubles now.
Oh boy!
And it's kind of nice because right now England is not a really welcoming place. I'm sorry to say. I mean, they're arresting people on Twitter and things like that, especially people who are MAGA. They don't like any right-wing things. I mean, if Tommy Robinson wasn't a citizen, I'm sure he would not be allowed to travel to England at all. But joining this parade of folks is the illustrious Cenk Uygur and his nephew, Hasan Piker.
Wow.
They're banned from Britain over the history of anti-Semitism, ruled as not conducive to the public good.
Yeah, it's a broad range. They've had this for many, many years. In fact, in 1964, Lenny Bruce was banned from entering the United Kingdom for similar reasons, his being heroin arrests. They have invoked this. It goes back decades and decades. So this is not Kay Starmer's problems today. This is a UK rule that's pretty old.
Yeah, and this is one of those that I have no love for either of these guys. I think they're both complete scumbags, especially Hasan. I mean, if we're going to really break them down, Cenk is a loudmouth ass. Hasan is a terrorist lover, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm just saying the levels are, definitely not quite the same.
Yeah.
Don't like either of them. I don't know if this is a good thing. I know they've been doing it for a long time. To me, it's just going to draw more ire against Jews, if you will, and probably cause more problems. But
well, they invited Tim Pool to come over, and Tim Pool reluctantly declined because he felt that this might happen to him.
That's fair. And I could see Tim Pool also not supporting the decision and not going to England because of that too, the freedom of speech angle, whatever it is. So I don't know. Moving on to another story, which was pretty interesting. I don't know if you saw this. AI fail. Meta's support chatbot helped hijack high-profile Instagram accounts, including the Obama White House. So Meta is the company that owns Instagram and Facebook, and they also have their own AI, and it appears they're using the AI to do customer support, and people were contacting the AI saying, hey, I need you to change the email address attached with like the White House account or other accounts. So as soon as you have control over somebody's email, that's why it's such a big deal about the hacks. If somebody gets a password or whatever, and then it's their email password, you can go to Facebook. I could pretend I'm you. I could say, blah, 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 blah. I need to change my password. Send an email to that account because I have the account now. All of a sudden, let me change the password. And now I own the White House account.
Good point. So, good point.
They did announce that they have reportedly patched a vulnerability in their AI password account recovery system that allegedly allowed attackers to obtain password reset codes and take over accounts. Think about that for a minute.
Yeah.
That is not good. Not good at all. So
I'll tell you what's not good is they're now using customer service AI at various companies, and you have to talk to an AI person on the phone, and it just goes around in circles unless it fits into what they're programmed to deal with.
Yeah, I've been dealing with that for a while. A lot of times I'll just say a random phrase and just start to spout off like I'm having a seizure or something, or just or something.
Good idea.
And sometimes it's like, sometimes it's if you do it right, it'll jar it up and be like, we're connecting you with a representative to ... I'm like, okay.
Did you notice Jill Biden on CBS being interviewed?
I didn't see it myself. I heard about it with the two-way folks.
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of they treated her with kid gloves. Is really the takeaway from the thing, you know.
Well, what I found embarrassing is she went on Morning Joe and didn't get the actual host. She got the fill-ins when they were on vacation.
Could
Does
happen.
that not tell you her status?
Well, that's just a scheduling issue. But I mean, the fact that CBS News under Barry Weiss did not simply ask her and again, this is just a basic question by a journalist. How do you feel about your ex-husband, Bill Stevenson, murdering his wife? How do you not ask that question, Eric? Forget about Joe Biden. This is her first husband who's now been, we believe, falsely accused of murdering his wife. However, it's her ex-husband. How do you not ask them if you have any comment? Not making a statement of guilt or innocence or whatever the fuck you want. How do you not ask at CBS News, do you have anything to say about the arrest of your ex-husband for murdering his wife? Because it could have been you, Jill, if you follow this out or whatever you want to do to put a spin on it. Why would CBS News agree with her book handlers to only ask her questions that they want? Why? What's in it for CBS? Is it such a great get to get this sea hag of a sad face, phony doctor, piece of shit conspirator who was in on it with her husband and reaped the benefits of his larceny? Is that what CBS wants? The new Barry Weiss CBS? Is that really the look you want?
True. I guess Barry Weiss is she's got a lot of fires. Like now she's battling Nick Bilton, the guy she put in.
Dude, you want to explain that to the audience?
Scott Pelley. Scott Pelley. I'm like, why is that guy still standing there? His ass. If I was in Bilton's position, unless I was handcuffed, I'd be like,
Halpern was outraged. He said he's never seen anything like this in media in his life. For people at home, the new head of 60 Minutes came in to meet the staff, including Scott Pelley, and Pelley stood up and made a speech directly at the guy, denouncing him, denouncing Barry Weiss, denouncing the new owners. And then the guy finally left, the new head of 60 Minutes, and said, "Enjoy the bagels." And it broke out in applause. And I'm going like, what is it? What is the deal with this? I mean, Halpern said he's never seen anything like this in media. Does Scott Pelley own the network or something? What is the deal, Eric?
Yeah. And on that note, Bilton is the one who walked out, said, "Enjoy the bagels." And honestly, I think that Bilton should be out of job too. And I'll tell you why. I think that if you walk into that scenario and somebody comes off, this is your chance. This is you coming in the room. This is your chance. I would be on the phone right there calling security.
Absolutely.
And saying,
absolutely,
take him out now.
And just say, does anybody want to join him?
Take his stuff downstairs.
Right,
It'll be presented to him.
Yep.
Who's next? Who's coming up right now?
Weak. He looks so weak by doing what he did that he will never, ever be able to restore authority within that group again.
Exactly. And then with them cheering like that, oh, it's over. I mean,
it's not over, apparently, that they got away with this. And Halpern, who's no fan of the new ownership, no fan of Barry Weiss, was outraged as a media person.
Yeah.
Having worked in the same scenarios in newsrooms before.
Yeah, well, because it's unacceptable. There is a hierarchy, and
apparently not there.
Scott Pelley. I mean, who the hell is Scott Pelley? I mean,
he's a talking.
He's
head.
no Walter Cronkite. He's no legendary.
No, but I'm saying whatever he is, he's merely a talking head for a show that had multiple 6 or 8 or 10 various talking heads reading a teleprompter. It's not like he did the work. I mean, but as Halpern said, the idea that they believe they're untouchable, to take 7 months to do a 12-minute piece and take summers off and be financially untouchable is absurd in these media days.
Yeah, and that's why she has a forward-thinking person hired. Is literally how are you going to jam it in? As an example, Jimmy Fallon. We were talking about the Late Show stuff, Saturday Night Live, or whatever. The only relevance these people are getting is social media clips that are running wide. So he's not wrong to come in and say, we need to package this stuff up to get it to go viral. And, I've got a solution for them. I don't know if they can pull it off, but they should take the crew from Australia and replace the crew here.
And there's many ways to skin this cat, and I'm sure there's plenty of people who would die to have that job and be energized into a new position for half the money.
Oh, 100%. But you know what? Yeah. That's some depressing stuff. I've got a nice wholesome story, and I wanted to share this because it involves a veteran, it involves a graduation, and really a nice moment. And we need to have more of these.
Okay.
Kaylin Barksdale. Excuse me, I'm being told that we have a small problem, so we have to figure out where his diploma is. We have every diploma except for one. Mr. Wiley, are you in the back? Can you see if we have one in the back, please?
Let me go take a look.
Sorry.
I think we got it.
Sometimes the most important deliveries take a little longer than expected.
Well, speed it up, lady.
Especially when they're coming from so far away.
I got a show to do.
To my brother, I will cross the ocean 1,000,000 times for you. I praise God for bringing me home to you safely for your big milestone. Congratulations, Kaylin Barksdale. I am so proud of you.
Wait a second. Is she the one running the blockade? Is she coming from Iran, Eric?
Yes.
Okay.
Who's deployed?
Today, this diploma is not being delivered by a staff member or an administrator. It's being delivered by someone who is special to the graduate and someone who has been serving overseas for over a year and has not seen her brother in that time. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome home Specialist Barksdale, who is home after serving the Iranian war for the 2-127th Infantry Battalion.
Anyway, I think it's good to have wholesome moments every once in a while, and I like those surprises, and they do get me every time. Like kids who are sitting there confused at the airport, and their dad walks up after being
those
deployed.
Are good. Yeah, those are good.
I mean,
ones.
all of these I think are fantastic to see. So,
almost as fantastic as our meetup that's coming on the 27th of June, where there'll be a lot of surprises when we meet up with people we've never seen before, Eric, who go by handles like Dogboy 283 and Chop Chop Weasel Face and Florida Headman and whatever their handles are. They always come up to us because we've never seen them physically and say their handle, which is kind of funny.
Well, especially when they say, I'm
Dogboy 283.
Or whatever it is.
Whatever it is.
As a matter of fact, we've got a super chat that came in discussing
maybe the super
meetup
chat
right now. And
okay,
let me get the meetup in the background so people can be scanning the QR code at their leisure while we're talking about the meetup.
Right on.
John Spencer, or I'm sorry, John Springer.
M1T. You forgot the M1T.
I know it's John Springer. I'm not going to go with all the random.
All right.
Two questions, if I may, about the Anaheim meetup. One, how are the signups going? They're going great, and we're expecting more to join soon. And two, is there a particular dress code? I can wear a jacket and dress shirt, but if I have to wear a tie, I'll use it to self-delete. No, you do not need to wear a tie.
You wear whatever you want. I mean, it's a fancy place. I mean, you don't want to look like you just rolled in from the beach. I mean, it is kind of fancy there.
Business casual is probably the best way I would put that. flip flops and Daisy Dukes, and
you're going to stand out. I can tell you
not
that.
the
It's kind of
best
a
choice.
nice looking ballroom. I don't know if you have any pictures of the place, Eric, but it is a nice looking, fancy schmancy place.
It is. But
I mean, wear whatever you want, but I would think that you really don't want to stand out by just wearing cutoffs and flip flops.
Exactly. So yeah, and that's where the business casual comes in, like I think like polo and khakis and otherwise.
That's your business casual.
Polo. Okay. I will have a button down shirt like I always do. But test pattern shirts are welcome.
Right. The test pattern shirt. Very good, Scott.
That is a tradition between whenever we go to locals, there's a test pattern that is running while we're shifting over. So a lot of the people on locals are very into the test pattern, and they've kind of adopted that. But anyway, we will be in Anaheim on June 27th. We're within a month now. We're talking about 3.5 weeks.
We're getting close, Eric.
Yeah. 3 weeks from Saturday, right? And we encourage everyone to come by, see us. It's a good time to book your flight. It's because the window's narrowing. Some of you who live in California, you can always drive over or even come to Arizona.
I just sent you a couple of photos from inside what we're getting into there. But Eric's right. You could drive over, walk over, take the train over, take what's called an airplane over. You could take the bullet train if they're finished by the 27th of June. You could take the Greyhound bus. A lot of people doing that. You can come by donkey, or as Eric says, donkey.
And the rest of most of humanity.
You can walk across America for a cause, a political cause. You can ride your bike or take an e-bike. A lot of people doing that this year. Here's where we're going to be. This is the ballroom. So, I mean, if you want to dress appropriately, think about the surroundings that we're going to be in, eating our dinner. The menu is up there as well. When you go to the site that Eric's mentioning to get the tickets, there's a secret code, which I'm not going to give out. I think you get the code. Look at this place, Eric.
Yeah, when you go to the book, hit the QR code and go there. There's directions on the code and the hotel.
Right, but I'm saying you get 20% off on a room in the Anaheim Marriott, which Eric is showing right now, and you'll be feasting your fat faces into this trough here of gourmet food prepared by the Marriott chef, as opposed to a delicatessen from around the corner, which is a trough.
Yeah. That's what comes to mind there.
No, it's going to be gourmet all the way. So it's usually these decisions are made by the wives. So I am appealing to the wives out there that this may be time for you to get your husband off the couch and come to Anaheim and attend one of our meetups if you haven't before. And if you have before, we'd love to see you again, of course.
Of course. And Scott H is going to be there. Scott, we've seen at multiple meetups. And John, who was just letting us know, the brothers, Texas Tom is going to be there.
Texas Tom in the house. Very good. Maybe the judge will come out of Texas.
Maybe. I'm not sure, but we will find out. And again, some familiar faces, but we're looking forward to meeting.
Yeah, we're looking for new faces too to keep this thing going across the country. We move around the country. We do have the traditional 200-mile rule, where if you want us to have a meetup, you must live at least 200 miles from the place that you want us to have the meetup in to assure that this is not personal.
Or you have to own the venue.
Or own the venue. That's another rule.
That's the way to do it. If you own a building,
if you own the venue,
you say, "Hey, you can put it here."
The 200-mile rule goes out the window. But if you live in Tampa and you want us to meet in Tampa, we consider that to be a little selfish. So we invoke the 200-mile clause. It's kind of like the nautical Iran rule that they're using for Strait of Hormuz traffic, Eric. The 200-mile coastline may not apply to Iran.
All right, and we've got Dustin here who's saying, "I'm leaving in my horse and buggy
There you
tomorrow
go.
morning
Right
with
on.
Eli and Elmer at the helm. See you in Cali."
Okay, now we're getting there.
It's
This
gonna be
guy
a little
knows how to
tight.
travel, bro. This guy
It's gonna be
knows
a little tight on time. You better. I don't know if you can stay for the show. You might need to leave tonight
I'm gonna leave tonight. Yeah.
because that is a long way coming from Ohio.
Yeah. But I mean, that's how the original settlers got there. So he's not wrong. I mean, he could maybe travel on Route 66 or the original trail. A lot of Okies came to California from Oklahoma with a wagon train back in the day.
Yeah, yeah.
Or even with a Model T. I mean, a lot of Dust Bowl people came, in the 1920s and 30s. Merle Haggard's family, came to that area that he's from, up in Fresno way from Oklahoma.
Well, it's the Depression era, right?
The Dust Bowl people, yeah,
from the Depression.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, and then even before that, honestly, they would have left by now. It's like at the first melt is kind of when they're like, okay, time to get on the road, because they not only had to travel all the way the hell across the country, but then they had to build a house when they arrived. So there needed a little bit of time to.
Same with, I think Victor Davis Hansen's families were Okies too. I mean, a lot of the farmers in California, Central Coast area of Central Coast of Florida, of California, were Okies.
Fair enough. All right. So,
by the way, did you see the sewer video in Brooklyn that Al Gonzalez has sent us? One of the strangest videos I've ever seen. The Israeli Day Parade went off without a hitch, but it was not without the highest level of security since 9/11, according to Al Gonzalez. And they are now at red alert every single day in New York. They infiltrated the crowd with intelligence operatives. They had snipers on the rooftops. They did everything you can imagine. And I said to Al that the worst thing that could happen to Mandani is to have a 9/11 event at this point in his Muslim Marxist career, I think. So he may not be rooting for it himself in terms of a terrorist action.
Well, here we go. Let's see if this is
What is this coming off of? It looks like somebody's filming off of their TV or something.
Yeah, they're filming. Oh, because there's monitoring. This is being monitored on a camera. So I think somebody took their cell phone to show it because they probably weren't going to release this footage to the public.
Gotcha.
Yep, so there you can see them coming out. It's really small back there, but they're
There's another video that is a lot cleaner than this. It's not off of TV. I don't know. This one I've never seen. I can't really see what's going on here. But to describe it for people listening at home, there's a random manhole cover in the middle of Williamsburg, Brooklyn, where 7 men with headlamps on their heads came out in the middle of the night. They were filmed by Williamsburg neighborhood Jewish security off of that screen that Eric put up there. And apparently no explanation and what they were doing there. The manhole itself was right next to a Jewish business. But to see these 7 guys coming out of this sewer at 2 o'clock in the morning looked something completely nefarious. And it's yet to be explained by the authorities what they were doing there.
yeah, I'm trying. Oh no, that's the one that you sent me. All right.
It is? Okay, sorry.
Yeah, that's
There's 6 or 7 men coming out of this sewer hole is really one of the craziest things I've ever seen. And it's a neighborhood my parents grew up in Brooklyn. Not sure what to make of it. People thought it was terrorist related, but nevertheless, more will be revealed on that particular case.
Definitely. This is not that. This is another story, but this is a weird ass story, and it's A teen goes on a violent spree at barrel racing event in Las Vegas. Multiple horses repeatedly stabbed. So some
Yeah, that was a
nutcase,
weird one. It was a girl, right? A teenage girl?
I think so. Yeah, 17-year-old girl was arrested for allegedly stabbing 3 horses. So, I mean, what the hell did the horse do to you? I understand going after competitors, but apparently she went on a rampage and stabbed the horses. And I don't know, it's bonkers. My sister used to barrel race when I was growing up.
Weird. Here's just a New York Post story on the group of 7 creeps emerged from New York City sewer
That's the one I was
manhole.
showing you.
Right. No, I'm just reading the headline and just the intro to the story. A group of oddballs was filmed emerging from a Brooklyn sewer hole early Friday morning in a strange scene that have left New Yorkers questioning their motives. NYPD has since launched an investigation into the stunt that is captured in shocking footage obtained by the Flatbush Scoop. The video shows one person appearing to lift a manhole cover on McDonald Avenue in Gravesend before stashing it on the curb between parked cars. I just wanted to get that intro out there.
Okay.
Oh, there it is. Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, no, it's literally, yeah. That's
okay.
What I had up.
Yeah, just a weird story. So, I mean, one of the benefits of this story was that Jessica Tisch, the police commissioner, was leading the parade. The 2 former mayors were there while Mandani rode his bicycle around Manhattan, almost thumbing his nose at the Israeli Day parade and the people attending it. Very weird political optics is all I'm saying for Mandani. And Bloomberg was there. And Eric was there. The previous, not Eric Hunley, Eric, the
Adams.
Previous mayor, Eric Adams was there, and Tisch may be running for mayor. The crowd was chanting, "Run, run, run" to Jessica Tisch, who I said has unlimited money, being the heir to the Tisch fortune.
One can hope. One can hope.
Yeah.
All right. Another election story. It's not exactly election, but it's tangentially related. Tina Peters has officially been released from prison. Finally.
Amazing. Yeah, amazing story.
Her sentence was commuted in May. I don't know why the hell it took them so long. I mean, it's like, it's commuted. Let her the hell out. But she is finally out now, which is good.
Keep in mind, this started with a pardon by the president of the United States on a state crime. And as I've said before, this does carry, political weight. And Polis, the gay governor of Colorado, felt that political weight and pardoned her or commuted her sentence. And today or yesterday, she was released from prison. But I think it started with Trump sticking his neck out again for this incredibly railroaded woman. Paulus will get the credit for it because he had to commute the sentence, though.
Fair enough. All right. Here's an interesting story. I don't know if you saw this one. Stunning twist in case of Dr. Hold on. Go on. There we go. Accused of poisoning husband with Drano.
Yeah, I mean, look, we were following, or I was following this story. It's there's video of her pouring this Drano. Now, she claims that the Drano was being poured down the sink to clear up or kill ants. One of the claims, and the case was thrown out. The district attorney says he's going to bring the case back again, but the judge threw it out, claiming that he accepts their explanation.
Yeah, let's think about that. Let's play this out. This brilliant explanation. It's like, okay, so you're saying, okay, the drain is clogged, so you pour the Drano in we're good so far. I'm in agreement. So what? The Drano leapt out of the drain into the glass? How does that work? Or do you pour it in the glass so you can more evenly distribute it? And what in the hell?
Her defense was she was already getting divorced, so why kill him? Emily Yu was arrested in 2022. Just think about this. This is 4 years as speedy justice, pouring it into her husband's drink. Surveillance video allegedly captured such a moment where she is being seen pouring the cleaner into a container on a kitchen counter near the sink.
Yeah.
Okay, he started noticing a chemical taste in his lemon tea. He sets up a camera. The consumption of the cleaner led to his diagnosis of 2 stomach ulcers, gastritis, and esophagitis. FBI tests confirmed the drain cleaner was present in the drinking glass, and the case gets thrown out of court. It's just mind-boggling. How much evidence do you need?
Yeah, and by the way, apparently her name is Emily Yu.
Yeah, it's like Sirhan Sirhan. It's like
so you
did it. You did it. Hold on, let me look at the bottom here. However, Yu's defense attorney she was attempting to kill ants in the kitchen at the suggestion of Chen. He's falsely claiming they were trying to poison him. Scott Simmons, this guy should be attorney of the year. I don't care about her. If I'm ever in trouble, I'm calling this guy immediately, putting him on speed dial for getting this thing thrown out.
Oh yeah. Oh, by the way, I forgot to share. I didn't see this earlier, but I forgot to share it. Going back to Graham Plattner, but I saw this nice picture here. Notice this pose that he has on the kick site. Now, he's holding his phone and his hand in a particular manner. Do you want to tell them why he has, or a good reason why he might have his hand held in that particular location while taking a picture?
I have no idea.
Well, the gentleman has a tattoo.
Oh, you're saying he's covering the tattoo with his arm? Okay. Well, he's got other tats, but I mean, maybe he didn't want that one to be seen.
Yeah, he has a particular tattoo.
Well, the 16-year-olds are not going to connect it to Auschwitz. I'll tell you that much. They're probably in favor of it if the 16-year-olds today. So it may have left him with less responders.
All right. Well,
based on the climate that we're in, I don't know if that really hampers him.
All right. Well, while we're talking about the climate that we're in.
But that is from his account. Eric is correct. That's what I was referring to. The account that he has been using. I think that's the picture.
Yeah. Yes. That is his picture. And I just thought that was interesting. Okay. So back to New York. So he went New York to Orange County. Now we'll go back to New York. Wacko with 41 prior arrests shoves writer into New York City subway tracks. But then, of course, he's set free in court.
Yeah, I believe that the judges must be physically arrested in the courtroom. I know this sounds crazy, but let them lawyer up and try to get out. Remember that one woman judge, Eric, who let the guy out the back? She was physically arrested, and it stuck. And these people have to be physically arrested. You could charge them with conspiracy to aid and abet felons, anything you want, but they physically have to be given the fear of God that they don't have this incredible arbitrary death right of releasing killers and madmen onto the streets of New York or any city with impunity, Eric. There's got to be, and I don't forget about the impeachment thing. We're way past that. These people have to be physically arrested by federal marshals, Border Patrol, some federal agency that has to go in and get them.
Well, unfortunately, the judge you're mentioning is no longer a judge.
Okay. So all right. Well, that's positive.
She got a slap on the wrist, but part of the deal is that she can never be a judge again and sign.
Well, that's a good part of the deal. I like that deal.
Yeah. I like
By the way,
that.
have you seen what Paris looks like? What is going on in Paris? I mean, it looks like the Nazis left it cleaner during their invasion of Paris in World War II. It looks worse than World War II. You could put side-by-side images of 1942 and look at 2026, Paris then and now, and Paris would look better under the Nazi occupation than it did this week with the rioting and looting and everything else going on in Paris.
Lovely. I don't have that on hand. I did hear about that. And that rioting and loot, wasn't that tied to a sporting event too?
Originally, yeah, but these things, these events seem to be meaningless as to what starts them anymore. because the same crew goes crazy every single time, smashing everything in sight, looting, and doing everything else. The themes to start them seem to be meaningless at this point. By the way, tell me your humble opinion about the 64 million mosquitoes that Google's about to release into the United States. What is this about, in your opinion?
Genetic engineering is kind of creepy. Apparently they've done it in 2 other locations already. I'm no lover of mosquitoes, and obviously malaria. There's other things we've been spraying mosquitoes for a long time. I believe DEET was a problem though, and it's getting people sick. What worries me is they're doing a genetic modification. So essentially I don't know if they've infected them, but the best way I could put it is
they've infected the 64
so now they're
million.
releasing these so they can affect all other mosquitoes.
Dude, this is crazy. This is crazy. They've infected 64 million mosquitoes.
Yeah.
And they're going to release these 64 million male mosquitoes, from what I understand from the story, to mate with 64 million random female mosquitoes, infecting the female mosquitoes with this genetically engineered defect in the 64 million male mosquitoes that they're releasing. Then the eggs, then the eggs will be infected by the production of the now infected female mosquito. What could go wrong here? If I was a screenwriter now looking for a project, I would use this as this dystopian plot line for my screenplay.
Oh yeah, well you just go Jurassic Park Part 3, Crichton, because didn't he use the mosquito to spread the virus to the frog?
Absolutely, but you could use this storyline for a completely different dystopian movie. And what could go wrong, Eric?
Just
64. And what is Google got to do with mosquitoes?
It gets these tech billionaires. There's a friend of the show who people may get to meet in California, and I always appreciated what he said. Like, he likes Jeff Bezos, and he said Jeff Bezos is a good billionaire. He's got the yacht, he's got the women, and he's off doing his thing. It's like, it's so much better. Let's get the good old fashioned millionaires, billionaires who go
like the Bruce Wayne.
Versus these other ones who are saying, ooh, let's genetically engineer or whatever's going on. The Bill Gates billionaires, those are the scary ones, the ones who are activists.
This one is crazy, but almost as crazy as the appeals court preventing Trump from removing 20 transgenders from the United States Army. I was asking you before the show, is this guy the commander-in-chief of the Army, or is it the U.S. appeals court is ruling that this is an employment agency and you can't get rid of these transgender soldiers? It's either one or the other. Either it's an employment agency or it's an army. It can't be both. It can't be both, Eric.
It is highly, highly annoying for sure. And I'm sure it's just one of those revolving door deals. You have a dumbass judge, and it's going to have to go up through the damn courts.
Well, no, this was the appeals court, a 2-1 ruling by the United States Court of Appeals. This is not a random federal judge. So the next level for this is the United States Supreme Court.
Right. So it's going to, again, that's what I'm saying. It's going to have to go up, and then, but they got a nice little stall, and then you've got the 20 people. I wonder if any of them are getting close to retirement. So they can
I didn't think
benefits.
About that.
I don't know what, but it's highly, highly, highly annoying.
Did you know about this 50-20 rule? There's a thing I wanted to tell the audience about, because some of these truck drivers that Eric was talking about last week had used the 50-20 exemption for American citizenship. And I looked it up and I said, yeah, this is some of them. Yeah, specifically this one and some others. The 50-20 exemption for American citizenship is you are over 50 years of age and you've resided somehow here for 20 years, you do not speak a word of English, and you have an interpreter help you pass the American citizenship test, thereby allowing you to get a driver's license where you cannot read the signs that are on the road that are in English, which is what happened in this particular case. And I didn't know what a 50-20 exemption was until after this story broke during the week. So I wanted to get back to the audience about it. This is insane. This is insane.
It's more like a 51-50 than a 50-20.
But 50 years old and 20 years living in the country, and you still do not speak a word of English. Okay, that's on you. You want to be an American citizen, that grants you an interpreter, which is bizarre. He then takes the test with you, and then you get a truck driver's license to drive a 10-ton rig through these American cities without being able to read the signs. I would be terrified if I was driving through Spain, not being able to read the signs in France or Spain with a 2-ton rig. And yet these
Dude, I
guys
was terrified to take a rental car in England, and that is English.
I had rental cars in Germany. I've rented cars in Italy and Germany and felt the same way. Yeah.
I mean, no, it's bonkers. And all that rule is saying is the longer you break the law hanging out and not learning anything, the better off you'll be. If you just wait long enough,
again, it's saying, in the fine print, it says whatever you did to remain, you could be on a green card for 20, you could be whatever it is. We don't care. If you've been here for 20 years, you get the 50, and you're over 50, you get the 50-20 exemption.
Right. So if you couldn't care less about our culture, our language, or anything else for long enough, we'll reward you.
Well, keep in mind, they do have to pass the citizenship test on their own. So they're just getting an interpreter. So they are passing the American citizenship test. But that allows them to get the driver's license. That's the rub. Not that they're an American citizen. The fact that they're now driving
they can't
that
read the damn
rig.
sign. And it's like, that's, anyway. That's very frustrating. Hey, coming in hot, Beavis Wallace. Eric, please instruct my wife on how to get AI tech support to transfer her to a human. Love the show.
That's brilliant. That's brilliant.
Just answer gibberish. I mean, don't answer in any logical way. And eventually,
okay, good point. I just did it with Booking.com. Now has, and I've spoken to Booking.com humans. The last time I used the phone, they've given up on humans. They're now using an AI bot. Which, of course, sounds completely human, but she says, I am AI, and I got nowhere, started yelling profanity, and next thing I know, she said, I am calling 911 right now. I am calling 911, so I hung up quickly.
Well, you see, it does escalate.
Yeah, it did escalate.
And she did get a person.
Yes.
So technically, what I said is effective.
It is effective, yes. They surrounded my house. They said, come out with your hands up.
And you were dealing with AI or humans?
It was AI. Yeah,
no, you're dealing with humans.
Oh, now at that point, it was humans.
So,
at that point, it was human police with guns. You're right.
There you go. Guaranteed to work. So you will get actual humans to support you.
Somebody pointed out that what Trump did is what FDR tried to do once he got reelected by a landslide, was to affect the primaries of other Democratic races around the country. And he lost every single one of them, FDR. See, he won one. There was one controller's race in New York that he affected with his endorsements. This was in 1932. Trump has pulled off what FDR dreamed of doing and couldn't do with all of FDR's political might. And that was taking down certain Southern Democrats and other Democrats who were far too conservative for his liking. And he couldn't do it. He lost every single attempt, FDR, but Trump has won every single attempt.
Well, not just FDR. I don't think there's been a single in all of American history.
Oh, no, without a doubt. Without a doubt. I'm just saying the closest one who's attempted to do it and lost was FDR, and he lost every single one but one.
Yeah, and you're right. I'm thinking about it because I don't know if W was doing it. I don't know if Obama did it much. They don't even try it. They might.
No.
And they typically wait till the last minute when it's going to fall anyway, and then they go, "Hey, look," and do the endorsement.
Yeah, he's not done because now he's going to go out on the stump after the primaries are done. That's what he's waiting for, to go out on the stump in July 1st. Most people believe he's going to start going out for rallies and endorsing these people around the country.
Which would be wise. All right, so let's go into some fan support because they are our sponsor today.
They're sponsoring our conservative terrorism.
Our conservative viewpoints. Thank you. Viewpoints. Rumble Rant starting us off with King of Biltong saying biltong is one of the highest protein snacks in the world, boasting over 50% protein, packed with vitamin B, with B vitamins, creatine, iron, zinc, and more. Visit biltongusa.com and use code AUS for 10% off. I actually just got some in the other day. Diffuse 56 gifted 10 America's Untold Stories.
You know,
membership.
if he gets in the tractor, he could probably get there by
you could Diffuse, guys.
Can you ride a tractor? You might have to take local roads. I don't think you could take that on the freeway.
Well, no,
U.S. highways.
It's a long way. It's a long ride.
But if he starts now, maybe he'll get there by the 27th. I think he's in Minnesota or something, right?
It's Midwest
I think
somewhere.
I think he's in Minnesota. Oh, maybe not.
I will say definitely get a lot of cushioning for his ass, because riding the tractor for that many miles all day, it would probably hurt. Let's see. William Ratcliffe said tally not happening in Texas, period.
Oh yeah, that Tallarico he's talking about. Thanks, Billy Ratcliffe there with the $2. Yeah, I think it's like a Hail Mary. There must be a conservative Democrat they could find to run against these people. Again, it's the party is so politically strangled by its left wing that in the most conservative states they throw up the most progressive guy.
I think that they're or they do the main thing with Plattner, because
right, it's the same idea.
The other guy on two-way, who I was going to say, well, run Kevin, except Kevin's got a husband.
No, but I'm saying Eric's right. If they ran Tallarico in Oregon, he would have a chance of winning. But they're taking the most far left progressive psychos they have and throwing them into conservative states.
Yeah, I mean, there's got to be.
more LBJ. Power to you.
Don't they have an LBJ in the wings?
Well, dag nabbit, I don't think so.
I guess that's
apparently not.
LBJ in Texas. All right, Mike Schaefer said, I watched one of your clips. It's amazing how effective Trump's coattails are. Midterms. Thank you, Mike.
I believe so. Yeah, thanks, Mike.
Let's talk about the clips for a second here.
Oh, please, Eric, could you address these retards for one moment?
These fine people who aren't noticing.
On both sides. There's fine people on both sides.
Yes. I have been releasing clips now from our last several episodes, and a lot of people have been responding, really liking it. They haven't been able to see the whole show, or they want to share just a portion of the show with their friends, etc. They're about 10 to 15 minutes in length, not too long, and generally covering one subject, maybe a couple little subjects that are put together. And in order to hopefully not have any confusion, I put in the title, there'll be the title of what it is, the main subject line. Then it'll say AUS clips. And then in the description, it'll also say in this segment, or AUS clip is from, and it'll say from this live stream. And there's a clip to a link to the live stream. And I then will do a community post, which will also say, wait for it, AUS clip.
I'm sorry, I didn't see that. I didn't really see that.
I know. So I just to be clear, I don't quite know what I'm supposed to do, but these are in fact.
Damn it, Hunley.
They're clips.
No, they're not clips. It looks like it's a whole show. I didn't know you were on Thursday morning at 9:00.
We're not on Thursday, and we're not on Mondays. And that's typically when I release them. I let the live stream, that's this show, go for a couple days to percolate, and then I do the clip to save confusion.
One of the reasons Eric is doing this is that you could forward these clips to other people. If you've seen the show, forward it to someone else so we can rise up from the ashes of our 134,000 subscribers and grow. Don't start putting it up on Twitter saying, "Hey, I didn't know there was a show on Thursday. This is really short." The idea is to pass it on.
And I hope you do. And also, if you just like, I was at a birthday party on Friday. I couldn't catch the show, but that looks interesting.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I just want to get a little
Absolutely.
bit of it.
And then pass it on.
Right. And we also have people who say, I watched the show and I enjoyed watching the clip because I just like that segment.
True.
So
that's true. I've heard that.
It's there for everybody. And I hope you do share it out and enjoy it. But just again, they're clips. It's not the show. The show's Tuesday and Friday.
What are you trying to say? That these
show.
are clips of the show, just highlights, let's say. Highlight might be a good word. Or highlight reel. Sometimes, with Twib notes, This Week in Baseball notes, they do that. So there is that particular thing. I just want to give a couple of sports stories while we're getting to the end here. The Raymond Berry passed away, the famous Baltimore Colts receiver. That I was a receiver in high school, and I worship Raymond Berry. Raymond Berry, for those at home, was a wide receiver that Johnny Unitas threw to, Hall of Famer, incredible ball player. And what people don't realize is he either invented or made it a popular move, which was the toe dance on the sideline. I believe Raymond Berry invented the toe dance or the catch, the coffin corner catch. And you could check me. This is many years ago, obviously, but I believe Ray Berry was the guy who invented the toe dance or the coffin corner catch from Johnny Unitas. But you could check me on that.
Did he play at the same time as Crazy Legs Hirsch?
I don't think so, but he was with Unitas and his favorite receiver for many, many years.
I know my dad.
And then he coached himself. He became a pretty big coach after his career.
I think my dad always thought that Johnny Unitas was the greatest quarterback who ever lived.
A lot of people make that argument, and it's not that far off.
All right, and then the second sports story, which we had on deck, is Dodgers Tanner Scott family targeted with threats after.
This is insane. I mean, his wife came out and made a statement. I don't know. Yeah, this has been picked up by TMZ now. This was a local story here on Instagram because he gave up a home run to the Phillies to lose one of the 3 games. And this is from Dodger fans, not from Philly fans. He gave up a homer to lose the game. Tanner Scott has had various issues with the Dodger fans before as a failed reliever, but nevertheless has been pitching unbelievably great this season. And his wife has had it, saying, I can't live like this anymore.
Well, yeah, death threats do tend to damper your enthusiasm.
Yeah, they're just not used to it. I mean, again, maybe people are used to it if you're a politician or somebody in the public eye, but as a wife of a Major League Baseball player, she said, I don't know what to do with this information.
I understand it. And then last of the sports stories, at least for now, this one you'll have to explain. It looks kind of crazy. National anthem standoff between the Rays and Angels players leads to pregame ejections at Tropicana Field.
The first I have to explain what the standoff is. Major League Baseball fans understand this. You go out for the national anthem and you don't leave until the other side. It's kind of a fun thing to do, a patriotic thing to do. You stand there with your hand over your heart, trying to make the other team leave the field before you do it. And they've had these incredibly hilarious standoffs between 2 individual players, one on each side, who stands there after the national anthem, not willing to take their hand off their heart and go back into the dugout. Well, this standoff went so far as to have the umpire say enough is enough and ejected everyone from the game before it even started. This is the first time an ejection has ever happened in my memory. Go ahead.
All right. Well, I was going to say,
play it for the people at home. Lance Barrett, a veteran umpire, took matters into his own hands. It's almost like a delay of game. I didn't know they were on the mound ready to pitch. That is taking it pretty far up to game time, actually delaying the start of the game by the standoff. So Lance Barrett, the veteran ump, apparently taking matters into his own hands, ejecting both Rays and Angels for the national anthem standoff, which I think is a first in baseball history.
Wow.
Yeah.
They didn't seem to be too broken up about it.
No, it's one of these oddities that bored baseball players. Now, the guys ejected, keep in mind, are not in the game. So it's kind of, they are human sacrifices by their teams who will not be playing that day.
I was wondering because they didn't seem all that stressed about it.
No, they were planning to have the day
hilarious.
off anyway, and went down into the locker room to eat off of the free buffet for the rest of the game, feeding their fat faces at the trough, which many of you will be doing at the meetup on June 27th.
All right.
Hopefully.
Silver lining then. All right. K-Dog with $20 said, got nothing. I refuse to think today.
K-Dog taking the day off for $20. Wow. Way to go. Thank you. Just refusing to think at this point on a Tuesday news day.
Apparently. And William Ratcliffe said, as Trump said, what do you have to lose?
Yeah, take your chains off, like popcorn, and free yourselves from the chains of oppression. What do you have to lose?
Speaking of what do you have to lose and things that are at risk, you know, what you could do, you can always subscribe. What do you have to lose?
This is a controversial thing that Eric gets into on occasion. You could push the like and subscribe buttons and also the notification button, so you will move the needle up above that says now 134,000 and growing. We are the McDonald's of YouTube, and our golden arches now say 134,000 people served. Now, I think viewership may be near 80 million or 60 million or some astronomical number that YouTube keeps track of, but the actual subscribers are more important than the viewers. And you can look down below on how to do it. It's very complicated. There's an owner's manual down below. If you want to use the owner's manual to learn how to like, subscribe, and get notified, we recommend you read the owner's manual and just don't push the button willy-nilly, as things can happen.
It can be very dangerous. And then
to
close things out, we have Edward McLaughlin with an incredible, super generous super chat. $99.99. You just can't make dumb people smart.
Ed's right about that. There are a lot of stupid people out there, and their education is over. You know what I mean? They may be 30 years old, 25, 30, 35, 50, 71, whatever the hell it is. Unless you go back to school and get a degree in something, you really can't make dumb people smart.
True, and he did send that in when we were talking about the clips and the controversy.
I thought so.
But to clarify, and thank you so much, Edward.
Yeah, Edward, thanks.
Super generous. He's donated some big money before, and we definitely Edward and Beavis Wallace are some of the heavy hitters, and some obviously Tractor Guy with the memberships and Pew Pew, and I mean we have some really, really generous folks, and you all really do make this possible. We thank you very much, and other people who do make it possible are on our locals.
Oh yeah.
And we're going to head over there. While we're on locals,
what's her name? Sweeney is over there naked, by the way. The actress model, I believe, waiting for us to go over to locals, or scantily clad. I shouldn't say naked. Sandy Sweeney.
Well, to continue with our path over to locals, one thing that I think we are going to do today, and maybe we'll do it in the future, is we have a segment that Mark came up with, ripped from the headlines.
Oh,
and we're going to go over on locals and
I forgot about that.
A run through of the rip through the headlines.
Yeah, this is a new segment where we rip articles from the headlines and riff on them over there on locals.
And I hope to see some of you there. And again, you can watch it for free. And
it's
no
free
ads
too.
or
I forgot.
else.
Yeah, there's no ads. Yeah, it's free. Free speech. Also, we could say all the dirty words we can't say here, which is fun, that we could talk openly among ourselves.
And if you do support us, you can type the words yourself.
Right. Yeah. You can say whatever you want. Yeah, that's true.
And we will see you over there momentarily.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.